Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a tutorial of the Super Mario cake topper. This cake topper does so well on my Etsy shop that I thought I'd make a video just to show how I make it. So once again I'm going to put out my disclaimer. I'm not perfect. You may see me playing around with Cricut. So please just bear with me. So I start all my toppers by downloading images from Google. So I downloaded Super Mario and then removed the background on background remover. Background remover is actually a lifesaver because a lot of the apps for like design and creation will charge you to remove the background, so you could just do it here for free. I tend to remove the original just so I don't get confused when it's time to upload. So once I'm in Cricut Design Space, I usually start with the shape of the cake topper. It could be a square, it could be a rectangle, but today I'm using a circle. So the purpose of this circle is to make a rim. So I would offset that circle to 0.25 and then highlight both circles and slice it. Once you've sliced the two circles, you delete both of them and you're left with the rim. So now what I'll do is offset that rim, and I usually like to use 0.06, but for some reason my Cricut Design Space will not allow me to put that in manually, so I have to use the little cursor to find something close to 0.06, which is 0.069. So I'm going to change the colors to the colors that I'm going to use to cut, which are red for the first one and then yellow for the second one. I'm then going to offset again and change that color to blue. So the next thing I do is make a note of the measurements of the outer rim and make another circle with those same measurements. So it was 5.78, and this will be used to cut the acetate, so it gives that see-through effect. I duplicate the circles and just put them in the corner for later. The next thing I do is look for all my pre-uploaded images. So as you can see, we've got the flower power, we've got the star, so I'm going to upload those. So once those images are uploaded, I then go to find an image of a cloud from the Cricut images file. This one is free and it's quite similar to the clouds used in Super Mario, so I prefer that to what was on Google. So I just leave that there. I will deal with that later. The next thing I do is just get all the images to be around the same scale. So I'm going to resize the brick first, and I start off by making it the same width as the circle, so that's 5.7, but then I just adjust it with my cursor just because you won't actually know the numbers by just putting it in. You have to kind of play with it. I'm going to offset that to 0.069 again, and I'm going to leave that offset as black. Then I like to group them together just so that they're not running away from each other when you're trying to move them about. So now the brick wall is ready. So I just position it where I would want it on the final cut. I then do the same for the rest of the images, just making sure that they're all to scale. And for the next few minutes of the video, you're just going to see me resizing the images, offsetting and grouping them together. For these images, I wanted a white offset background. So as you can see, I'm making the flower power background white after I offset it. And we'll do the same for the Venus flytrap. So now I'm going to put those two in position for the final cut. With Luigi, again, made him a bit smaller, and the same, well, with Mario, he has to be a little bit bigger. Not quite as big as Luigi, but bigger than the original image. I position those two as well and bring Mario to the front before offsetting that image. With print and cut images, you have to change the offset to basic cut, otherwise it will print off the offset rather than just cut it, so it will print like a white image. Did the same with Luigi, and then the mushroom. Then the star. with the coins, I think I duplicated it ×8. I may have done more than I needed actually, but didn't cause any harm. And then I just position the coins exactly where they would be on the final cut. So the text, I think I downloaded this text from DA font. I think it's pronounced the font, but I'll put the link in the description box. It's called the Super Mario 256 font. This font is perfect and looks exactly the same as the original Super Mario font. So this child was 5, so I've changed it to blue, resized it slightly, and then I'm gonna offset the background to black. Then I type out the name, and with this you type out the name, you highlight it, and then you have to ungroup it. So ungrouping the letters helps you be able to just change the colors of the letters individually, and you don't have to just type one letter in, then change the color, then type another letter in and change that color. I then group them back together and offset with the black background. So I know the end is near when I highlight all the images and duplicate them. I do this so I have a background of acetate where all the images are stuck on. So I'm going to weld one of the circles together with the images. I tend to use acetate as a background because one of my customers complained one time that it felt a bit cheap. It was a bit flimsy So I thought, okay, I'm going to just put acetate on the back of all of them, so at least it's got a steady background. So I just moved the background to be behind the initial images. I almost forgot that I usually put some stars at the bottom. These are really small and not the usual gold star from Mario, just some small blue stars for effect. Same thing with the stars offset, but I made the offset a bit smaller because the stars are quite small. And then just change the offset to white. Duplicate the stars and group them, and then I just put them into position. And lastly, I just save my design. I'm gonna start making videos of how I put the toppers together. But yes, this is the finished product. Please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.